Salut pour tous et soyez les bienvenus dans le programme Planète Équitable avec Ede Zanetti. We are talking about a multiplanetary society which is starting to populate the moon and Mars over the next years in order to bring a 1 million population to the first city on Mars. And we are also making a parallel with the Brazilian Amazon, where we can have 200 million people living as well. And the main goal of doing that is the same. If we establish a population in Mars, we have the perspective of doubling the global GDP and add another 66 trillion per year to the global economy. It is the same with the Brazilian Amazon. If we add another 200 million Brazilians to the region, which is 50% of the country, we will also have the perspective of doubling our GDP, which means better living conditions for all Brazilians, generate jobs and income. And then we start talking about the environmental conditions which will be necessary to sustain this 1 million population in Mars, which are the very same environmental conditions we need to sustain a 200 million population back there in the Amazon. And we learn that in order to provide food for this 1 million persons, we're gonna need 40,000 hectares of fertile land producing 500,000 tons of food per year, which will also generate 400,000 tons of oxygen. Every kilogram of food has around 30% of its mass on carbon. Food is a carbon-based product. And for each carbon that has been added to food, 2 oxygen molecules have been liberated. So we have this accountability, but we need 1.6 million more oxygen to sustain this population. We need 2 million tons of oxygen per year. And that can come from expanding our food production. So we would need another 160,000 hectares of food crops, or we can add forest to the equation, and then we can have 40,000 hectares of highly productive forest in order to produce that oxygen. But it's very important to know that you get the food every year. The timber you will get every 5, 7, 10 years, and you need to keep this forest productive in order to filter the oxygen. Otherwise, they will be competing for the oxygen with the population. Let's talk further about this. That God's peace and the love that builds pure weapons on our daily struggle for justice. Ede Zanetti for tous les amis africains.